live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
One fire has sent families in 2 homes scrambling. It broke out in one of the homes, then the flames spread to the second home.
Our Katrina Weber is live where it all happened on Tampico Street near Southwest 19th Street. And Katrina, did everyone make it out safely?
Well, according to a neighbor, one man did suffer some burns. He was taken to a hospital. Everyone else in both of those houses is safe now, but wondering what to do next. I want to direct your attention across the street. Now, it's tough to see the house where the fire started because there's not much left of it, but you can see a white house right there. That's the secondary house that was damaged as a result of this fire, which broke out after 2 o'clock this morning. According to a relative of the people in that second house, there were 4 people in that house, 3 people in the house where it started. They got alerted about 2 o'clock this morning, as I said. Now, in the secondary house, they tell me that they did lose a pet, a parrot that died as a result of all that smoke. Everyone else is safe, though, except for the man who is at the hospital. But a lot of damage here. Neither family able to stay in their house anymore as a result of what happened. Although it doesn't look like much damage here from the outside to that secondary house. The daughter of the woman tells me that there is extensive damage in the living room area, so no one able to stay there. And again, the house where it originated, not much left of that at all. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you very much, Katrina. Good morning, everybody. It is still chilly out there. As you saw, Katrina's wearing a kind of a heavy coat, but a lot warmer than what it was at this time yesterday. We're at 44 degrees, closer to the normal low temperature, and not much of a breeze out there. Clear skies do point that bottom numbers also started to creep up just a little bit, and that means some fog. I'm going to show you that in a second. Look at that high temperature today, 76 degrees. Yesterday we hit 67, so we're going to be 10 above that, almost anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees above normal around the area. As far as the aquifer yesterday, it did drop down 0.4 of a foot, and that is going to be the trend over the next few days. All the allergens are on the low side: mold, mulberry, and ash. And once again, no mountain cedar showing up. So I think we are finally done with that season. Okay, the humidity has started to come back in here in the overnight hours. So we are seeing just a couple of hints of fog here and there. Down around Pleasanton, New Braunfels, Gonzales has now dropped down to 0 visibility, as you see. And then even more fog here along the coastal plain, Beeville and Victoria, a little bit around LaGrange, Corpus Christi. So we'll have to watch out for this, of course, as is usually the case as we get closer to sunrise and just after that with some of that thicker fog around here. Temperatures still got some 30s in the hill country, but basically mid upper 40s. Again, overall above where we were at this time yesterday, which was definitely on the cold side. Now, lots of sunshine today. Again, very warm, mid 70s, and the humidity continues to increase throughout the day overnight. So we're going to be dealing with some fog again tomorrow. A couple of more clouds here and there, a little bit warmer and even more humid. That's going to be the case to start off on Thursday. Then it's going to be one of those kind of unusual days where we have a front moving through. It's a Pacific front, so initially brings in drier air, southwesterly wind. Those are the ingredients to really put temperatures up there. We're going to be in the mid 80s on Thursday. After that, don't know if I can say cooler, just not as warm and more comfortable for the majority of the weekend. We'll explain everything going on in just a couple of minutes, and we do have another more potent front way down the road. Details just in a couple of moments. Now, Traffic Authority, Mr. Marquez, good morning, sir. What's going on?
Good morning, Mike, and good morning to all of our drivers out there as we take a look outside. And the big story right now is going to be construction throughout the city of San Antonio. We're going to be talking about that through a good part of Good Morning San Antonio. Taking a look behind me here, 35 at Topper Wine, we do have construction still in place there, southbound lanes there on the northeast side. So keep that one in mind if you're headed out. You already seen pretty good amount of traffic out in the northeast side. And again, big story is going to be out there. We're going to talk here in just a little bit more about all of that taking place here. But we do have ongoing construction other parts of the city. US 281 southbound at Marshall Road. We have this blocked here from TPC Parkway, southbound lanes all the way up to Wilderness Oak. And let's take you out to the west side right now because we also have some ongoing construction here. Loop 410 southbound at Marbach Road on the west side. But again, not causing any major delays from what we see from our traffic maps. The rest of the city, everything else else is moving smoothly for the most part. And just keep in mind, we also have this closure there, exit closure there, Culebra Road. That's part of that downtown at the Y project. So the Culebra exit, when you're heading up on I-10 near Frio, we've seen a lot of construction in that area as well. But again, guys, biggest story we're going to see throughout the next probably half hour or so is going to be construction. Just keep that in mind if you are about to head out throughout any parts of the city of San Antonio. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ. New this morning, check out this video. Everyone was able to escape a massive fire early this morning over in the Alamo Ranch area overnight. It happened around midnight in the 5800 block of Sweetwater Way. When firefighters got there, they found flames shooting through the roof of a two-story home. A family of 6, including 4 dogs, all got out. No injuries were reported. The American Red Cross will assist them for now. So far, no word on an official cause.
And it's a very sad time for the Northside ISD community. A teaching assistant from Brandeis High School is dead after he was injured while, quote, redirecting a student earlier this month. Now, Alfred Jimenez, also known as Mr. Fred, fell to the ground and hit his head. Northside ISD police are now investigating the incident.
A hail of gunfire in a northeast side neighborhood left multiple homes and cars riddled with bullets. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the fear of the suspects coming back to finish the job has those who live there on edge. According to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, at least 5 homes and 2 cars were hit by gunfire. They also say one neighbor says he fired back from his window. Those who we spoke to say it sounded like 30 to 50 rounds were fired in a matter of minutes.
I don't want to die here. What if they come back?
Again, BCSO says no one reported getting hurt. So far, the sheriff's office doesn't have witnesses or surveillance video. They say deputies will increase patrols and ask anyone who saw what happened to call them.
And today is a day you can now vote early in the Texas primary that continues until March 1st. And you also have until this Friday to apply for a mail-in ballot. Election day is on March 5th, and we have a list of voting locations and a sample ballot you can look at. This is on our website at KSAT.com. Capital One says it is buying Discover Financial Services. The all-stock deal is worth more than $35 billion. The deal would combine 2 of the largest credit card companies in the U.S. in one of the biggest mergers this year. The 2 companies will officially announce the deal later this morning. It comes as credit card debt in the U.S. It's a record high. The average balance now tops $6,000.
Now to the war in Ukraine. Russian troops have launched a new round of attacks across multiple fronts after capturing a key city in eastern Ukraine.
One Ukrainian commander saying they just don't have enough manpower and ammunition to hold off these Russian assaults. As ABC's Wynn reports, this is happening as crucial U.S. aid stays held up in the Republican-led House.
This morning, Russia launching multiple assaults in eastern and southern Ukraine, pressing its advantages after seizing the key city of Avdiivka. One Ukrainian commander saying they just didn't have enough manpower and shells. Neurosurgeon Rocco Armando, who previously served as a doctor for the U.S. Army, telling ABC's Martha Raditz of the latest casualties.
This is a patient who had a severe penetrating brain trauma, basically an artillery blast.
Armando says the worsening situation faced by Ukrainians is directly linked to the billions of dollars in U.S. aid held up in the Republican-controlled House.
The less firepower you have, the more casualties you have, the more lives are lost. It's directly related.
Despite facing international criticism over his lack of swift action on Ukraine aid, House Speaker Mike Johnson has not signaled when he might pass new assistance. He has said no foreign aid will pass before more border security is secured. President Biden saying House Republicans are making a big mistake.
The way they're walking away from NATO, the way they're walking away from meeting our obligations is just shocking. I've been for a while. I've never seen anything like this.
This as Biden condemns Putin over the sudden death of Alexei Navalny, the Kremlin's fiercest critic. Former President Trump's only comments on Navalny's death compared it to the alleged political persecution he claims he's facing in his own legal battles. Former Republican Representative Liz Cheney slamming Trump on CNN.
I believe the issue this election cycle is making sure the Putin wing of the Republican Party does not take over the West Wing of the White House.
In the wake of Navalny's death, President Biden says he's considering more sanctions against Russia. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Here at home, last night's basketball game between Incarnate Word and Texas A&M Commerce ended with a massive post-game brawl. According to ESPN, it broke out after A&M Commerce's 76-72 win over Incarnate Word as the teams were shaking hands. Right now, it's not clear what sparked the fight, which involved several players from both teams. Coaches and players from both teams tried for a long time to separate the players. Later in a joint statement, Incarnate Word and A&M Commerce apologized for behavior exhibited by our respective men's basketball programs. The Southland Conference says it's also looking into the incident and said in a statement, quote, unsportsmanlike behavior is unacceptable in the Southland Conference, end quote. Time to hold on for dear life at the stock show and rodeo. We start with TJ Gray on board the bull known as Stinky Winky. And Stinky Winky bucked that cowboy off in a little over 4 seconds. No chance. Then we have Ernie Corson riding head honcho, and clearly this bull is in charge. Corson gets thrown off and gets caught up in the rigging for just a bit, and he gets out, and head honcho goes after the bullfighters. Man, that's one angry bull right there. Just one cowboy went the distance last night, and that is this ride. Jordan Hansen got the better of the bull. Keep talking. Spinning right for all 8 seconds, and Hansen wins the money talking all the way to the bank. A rough night for the bull riders at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo.
Yeah, but we love the names.
Stinky Winky.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Time now, 5:11, 45 degrees for now.
Up next, why there is now a formal investigation into TikTok over online content and child safeguarding.
Also next, a warning from a journalist who lost $50,000 in an elaborate scam.
And outside with live cam, another chilly morning, but at about 10 degrees to where we were around this time yesterday.
Hi, welcome back. The time now is 5:14. A financial columnist is speaking out after falling victim to an elaborate phone scam. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a warning from a journalist who covers personal finance. She lost $50,000 in an elaborate scam that all started with a phone call.
It actually showed up as Amazon on my caller IDs. She said that there had been some suspicious activity under my account.
Charlotte Coles, the Cut's financial advice columnist, thought she had just learned that she was the victim of identity fraud. The person she was speaking to transferring her to someone claiming to be an FTC investigator, and later someone who said they were part of the CIA.
He knew my social security number, the last 4 digits. He knew my birthday. He knew my address. He knew that I lived with my husband and son. And he told me that my identity had been stolen by a criminal organization.
And coming up at 7 a.m., how you can protect yourself. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
So scary. It happens every day.
Yes, it does, and a little more often than before.
5:15, 44 degrees.
Go ahead and look out there with TransGuide this morning, looking over at Highway 281 at Wilderness Oak, where things seem to be moving for the most part over there. We're going to be getting a check-in with RJ Marcus very soon.
We're building a better postal service. All parts working in sync to move your business forward. With a streamlined shipping network and new high-speed processing and delivery centers. For more value, more reliability, and more on-time deliveries. The United States Postal Service is built for how you business. And how you business is with simple, affordable, and reliable shipping. USPS Ground Advantage.
Bye-bye cough. Later chest congestion. Hello, 12 hours of relief.
12 hours? Mucinex DM gives you 12 hours of relief from chest congestion in any cough, day or night. Mucinex DM. It's comeback season. Now try Mucinex InstaSoothe sore throat medicated drops.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. Like 2 lines of unlimited for just $27.50 a line. That's half the price of Verizon or AT&T. So switch to T-Mobile and save.
5:19 on a Tuesday morning. Steph's back after a long weekend. Good to have you back with the morning
Good to
family.
be back. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Did you hear what we were calling you yesterday?
A viewer messaged me that I was being name called, and I was like, okay.
But
it didn't. But he didn't say. He's like, oh, you'll find out.
Well, it was President's Day, so we called you
the president,
the commander-in-chief.
The president of this group here.
What? So. That's so funny.
The commander-in-chief. Yes.
Steph's like, I resign.
Yeah, I was like, that's a lot of pressure there. Oh, well, but not in a bad way. I figured it wouldn't be bad. I was like, I wonder what it is, but I didn't want to ask.
It was on the air. It's not what we call you in the newsroom.
Right. That's funny. Well, no, I no, thank you. Yeah.
Welcome back, Steph.
You
definitely.
please.
All right, guys. Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people, like Steph, maybe headed back to work today. Obviously, a lot of people headed back to school, so you may run into some construction. We're going to talk about some big projects taking place on the northeast side right now. Real quick, take a look here. 281 southbound at Wilderness Oak. We just spoke a little bit about this one. They are doing some signage work out there on the far north side, so keep that one in mind if you are about to head out right now in that part of the area. We also want to show you real quick this closure here. This is the Culebra exit, that Bandera exit over there, I-10 westbound at right as you exit the downtown area. So keep this one in mind too. They're still doing a lot of work in that area. But again, the biggest thing that we're going to see over the next couple of days, especially in the overnight hours, is some major construction projects taking place here. So this is the northeast expansion. Been talking a lot about stuff going on there on the far northwest side. This is going to be the northeast side where they are doing that massive double-decker project going from 410 all the way to 35 here. So we're going to have 3 main lanes closed in the overnight hours running through February 24th. So that's going to be the rest of this week. Again, these closures are going to be in place 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. through February 24th. Basically both lanes here from the Forum all the way up to Roy Richard Drive. So keep that one in mind there. And if you are also going to be driving around the interchange, that's also going to be shut down both directions here. 35 north and southbound, you're going to have to exit or detour IKEA RBFCU Parkway. And also on this end here, you're going to have to detour Pat Booker. So it's going to be a lot of construction taking place here over the next week or so. Again, this is a massive project that they're doing out there on the northeast side. As we take one more quick look here at our TransGuide traffic cameras, check out the rest of the city, 37 Fair Avenue. Traffic moving pretty good in both directions there. And we just saw that camera there, 281 at Wilderness Oak. Mike, how are things looking outside this morning?
It's going to be very springy over the next few days. Speaking of springy, there's a pileated woodpecker. Beautiful plumage on that bird over there at Stephen F. Austin State Park. You're smiling, Stephen F. Austin. Is that near the university?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know where that's at. I see it says closer to Houston. Okay. Hardy would know, fellow
our
SFA
producer,
alum.
Hardy, and also Mark, both graduates of Stephen F. Austin. Anyway, thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. Notice there's a little bit of fuzz right there along the horizon looking at downtown. That's because of all the humidity that came back in here. We're starting to see a hint of fog now, Bernie. Pleasanton down to 1.25 miles. That just dropped down. 8 miles at Randolph, 0 at Gonzales. And this is going to continue to get thicker as the morning rolls on. Some going down 35 and a lot there along the coastal plain as well. It usually gets thicker as we approach sunrise and just after that. Dew point temperature, sort of the measure moisture in the atmosphere, up a good 10-15 degrees compared to this time yesterday, up 18 degrees in Rock Springs. So not that you really notice the humidity, but that's helping out with some of this fog, and then it will continue to increase throughout the day. Temperatures, we will bottom out at 43 this morning, and then warm up nicely throughout the day, up to 70 at noon. We are going to make it up to 76 later on today. So about 10 above where it was yesterday, and normal high temperature right now is 69 degrees. So we're going to be anywhere 5 to 10 degrees above normal, and that's going to be the trend for the next couple of days. Nothing is really showing up on radar or satellite picture around the area right now, and still not much around the country. This big storm system right out there, the coast of Northern California, that's what is having the indirect effect on our weather. And that will help to heat things up, and then it's going to bring a front on through here. But first of all, notice how the humidity continues to jump up. Drops down on Thursday. That's a little bit deceiving as far as usually when you have the dew points dropping down like that, you get the temperatures to drop down as well. But that's not the situation this time around. And then it is going to be drier and more comfortable over the weekend, but not for long because the dew points are going to come right back into the picture. So there's that big storm system out there. That's what is helping to pull this this big ridge on in here, and this is why we are definitely warming up over the next couple of days. We will get a bit of a front to move through on Thursday, but again, it's only going to dry us off initially. Now, we can make up the 76 today, 78 tomorrow, 84 on Thursday. So the front comes through, the wind shifts around to the southwest, downsloping wind, that heats things up. And again, that's why we get up to 84. Not as hot, can't necessarily say cooler because it's still well above normal over the weekend. Very comfortable, though, with the lower humidity. But it's right back to hot and humid to start off next week. Like I said, welcome to spring. More after this.
527, EU regulators are looking into whether TikTok has broken online content rules aimed at protecting children. ABC's Andrew Dembert has the details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, TikTok under a new microscope. The EU has opened an investigation looking into whether TikTok is doing enough to protect children and ensure transparent advertising. TikTok's parent company could face a hefty fine. The company is promising to explain its operations to regulators. Apple released its latest shot on iPhone film, capturing the rehearsal and performance of Usher's Super Bowl halftime show. The director used 40 iPhones, showcasing the capabilities of the 15 Pro and Pro Max model. The phones were mounted across the stage on instruments and even attached to some performers. And Samsung's rugged tablet has arrived in the U.S. The Galaxy Tab Active 5 was unveiled last month and is now on the company's website. Standout features include a removable battery, micro SD expansion, and a rugged case. Pricing starts at $550. So if Microsoft comes out with a rugged case, would it even scratch the Surface? Those are your Tech Bites.
Surface tablet, got it. Okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time now, 528, 44 degrees.
Up next, the search continues for 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham. We're going to have what investigators are saying about the search in Livingston.
A new report shows a stunning number of kids are hit by cars every week across our country. Ahead on GMSA at 6 this morning, what you can do to help protect your kids. Good morning to you. It is Tuesday, February 20th.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I know you worked, but did you have a good Monday?
All it was missing was you.
Yep. With me? Okay, yeah. I'm sorry about that. I'm back.
Monday, but, it was jackets yesterday, and then you didn't need it by the afternoon. That's really going to be the case later on today. As a matter of fact, jackets and then shorts and T-shirts later on this afternoon. So look at the camera from Brook City Base, looking up at the skyline, and yeah, you can see all the twinkling lights, but it's a little fuzzy looking out there because we do have some extra humidity that has moved in overnight. 44 degrees right now. Yesterday at this time we were in the mid 30s, so almost 10 above that, closer to a normal low temperature. And notice how these two numbers are running neck and neck. And so when you have that situation, dew point and air temperature close, as we always say, and then light or no wind out there, that's why we're starting to see some fog around the area. 7 miles visibility at New Braunfels, still 8 at Randolph, 7 Bernie Stage, and then 1.25 miles down the road at Pleasanton. Gonzales, head out 10. You're still going to run into a lot of that very thick fog, 0 visibility out there. Some going down 35, and then down here along the coastal plain. So the usual spots, again, where we're seeing it, Randolph, Pleasanton, Stinson, just kind of watch out for that fog to form up as we approach sunrise and just after that. So overall temperatures are above where they were at this time yesterday. Still on the colder side out there in parts of the hill country. Like I said, jacket this morning, don't need it by the afternoon. Mold, mulberry, ash are all on the low side. Again, no mountain cedar is showing up, so we're finally done with that season. 70 at noon, 76 a high temperature today. So about 10 above yesterday. The normal high is 69, so we're 7 above that, and that's going to be the trend all around the area, or the situation all around the area. And the trend is to get even hotter tomorrow and especially on Thursday. Front's coming through here, not what you're really thinking just by the name cold front. Weekend, though, is setting up to be very nice. We'll also take a look ahead and see if we can see any rain anywhere around here. We could start using some of that. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. RJ Marquez, the man behind the wheel this morning. What's going on?
All right, Mike. Yeah, things looking pretty good out there. No major accidents or stalled vehicles or delays right now, but biggest thing that we're following right now is construction. As we take a look behind me and you see TransGuide, they're actually adjusting this shot spot right now, live looking at 35 there at Topper Wine, because we've had a lot of construction taking place in this area. You do see some flashing lights there. Southbound lanes, there were a few main lanes that were shut down earlier, but it looks like they have started to maybe clear that out. So hopefully that'll be the case there for our drivers on the northeast side, because again, a lot of things taking place in that area, and we'll continue to talk about that as we make our way through our Tuesday morning. Everything else in the city looking pretty good for the most part. Again, mostly just picking up in construction around the area. Right now, we do have a main lane blocked here, US 281 southbound at Marshall Road. So this is going to be this stretch from TPC Parkway all the way up to Wilderness Oaks. So if you're coming southbound, actually, let's do that vice versa. Wilderness Oak all the way down to TPC Parkway. But we do have some ongoing construction there. They are actually switching out some signage and doing some updates to some of those traffic signs out there. Also have construction here, Loop 410 southbound at Marbach Road. So something our drivers on the west side just need to keep in mind here, not causing any major delays right now in terms of our traffic maps and our traffic flows. One more quick look here, rest of the city. That's what we were looking at earlier. That was 281 Wilderness Oak. And then this is our other closure, the Culebra Road exit. Right now it's closed I-10 westbound at Brazos right there as part of that downtown at the Y project. So we will continue to follow the very latest, give you more updates as they become available. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ. New this morning, 2 families are weighing their next moves after being driven out of their homes by fire. It broke out early this morning in one house, then spread to the second one. Our Katrina Weber is live on a street called Tampico near Southwest 19th and Castroville Road. And Katrina, where are those families now?
Well, most of the people who ran from their homes have taken shelter in their cars. That's where they are right now. They were told by firefighters that the American Red Cross was coming to give them assistance, and so they're sort of waiting around trying to figure out whether that is going to happen. One woman told me she ran out without even taking a blanket to keep warm. Let me give you a look at the houses where this happened. You can see the house here with the most damage. That is where firefighters say this fire started after 2 this morning, and then the flames spread to the house next door, causing what the family describes as major damage. Now, firefighters left here just before we went on the air about a half hour ago, but let me give you a look at the video and you'll see that there were about a dozen fire units here at one point after this fire broke out. Now, I talked to the woman in the house where this started. She says that she believes it might have had something to do with a heat lamp that they had for a pet in the backyard. Fires started in the house. That family of 3 was able to get out on their own, but the husband did suffer some burns and was taken to a hospital. The fire spread to the house next door where there were 4 people who all got out safely, but they tell me that they did lose a pet in the process. A parrot died as a result of all the smoke in the house, but they are safe. They just don't have a place to go right now because they also have major damage to their house. So they're just, again, weighing their options, trying to see if they could stay with family or where they go next. And so that is the big question for both of these families this morning. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
We are learning more about a teenager shot and killed on the northeast side on Sunday. According to arrest paperwork, 18-year-old Octavius Tom Rion Galloway shot and killed the 17-year-old at an apartment complex on Benz Engelman near I-35 and Seguin Road. Investigators say a witness had video of the shooting that showed several cars leaving the area. Police later stopped one of those cars and say Galloway was inside. He's now being charged with murder. The name of the victim has not yet been released.
In East Texas, the search continues for 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham. The girl from Livingston was last seen Thursday morning after being dropped off at her bus stop. Now, crews have searched a river and dam in the area of where she was last seen. A person of interest in her disappearance is 42-year-old Don Stephen McDougal. Now, McDougal was arrested on Friday by the Polk County Sheriff's Office on an unrelated assault charge. Jail records show he has a lengthy criminal history, including felonies for crimes against children.
Now to the heavy rainfall pounding most of the state of California.
As CNN's John Lawrence reports, flood alerts are in effect for nearly the entire state, and forecasters say millions of residents will see excessive rain through most of today.
Roadways looking like rivers in Ventura County, California. Over in Alameda County, part of State Route 84 washed away into the creek Monday, leaving some local drivers in the lurch.
Didn't expect this for just this rainfall. Like it isn't that hard, right?
Roughly 37 million Californians are under flood alerts, and the Weather Prediction Center issued excessive rain outlooks for most of California through Tuesday.
They're moving pretty quick. They're firing up and developing really quickly and moving off towards the east and northeast at a very fast rate.
The WPC says Los Angeles is at level 3 of 4 flood risk Tuesday, while both San Diego and Santa Barbara are at level 2.
Please stay away from the creeks. They're absolutely dangerous. It is swiftly flowing water. And what we don't want to have to do is have somebody get injured or worse, die because they fall into a fast-moving creek.
The major rains come from an atmospheric river-fueled storm that stalled off the west coast, and officials say they can cause a lot of damage in a short amount of time.
5 or 10 minutes and it's going to move out. But in that 5 or 10 minutes, you could have some damaging wind gusts, in addition to the dangerous lightning, heavy rainfall, and small hail.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
44 degrees.
Superintendent at an area high school had a vision for the school to build an airplane, and now that vision is a reality. Up next, we're going to hear from a student who is taking her aviation experience to new heights.
Love that. And outside with live cam this morning, 44 degrees. So yeah, you definitely still need a sweatshirt or jacket or vest or something like that. Some sort of fashion accessory. Steph will give you some options coming up later in the newscast. How many people can say they built an entire airplane while they were in high school? I imagine it's not very many.
I don't think so. And we're talking about the first student-built aircraft in South Texas, and it was manufactured by the young minds of Southwest High School.
It's a good-looking plane. Our crews caught up with some of those behind the Dragon One yesterday over at Stinson Municipal Airport here in San Antonio.
Fabulous day. I'm just so excited. I hope you are too.
I am Alana Medina. I am a junior at Southwest High School. I'm one of the students who is currently enrolled in the aviation class, who has also helped build this plane. We had about 5 or 6 mentors.
Hi, I'm Darren Medlin, and I'm the volunteer mentor coordinator for the Southwest High School Aviation Program. Well, starting back in 2018, the superintendent had a vision for the school to build an airplane. They had already started introducing aviation into the middle school and elementary school levels, and this was the capstone program.
Heart was racing, heart was pounding, just so many emotions. Like, I don't know what to say. It's amazing. The amount of people that are here to see it is awesome. And he's right there too. It's awesome. It's amazing.
It's not just for show. It's a real career-enhancing activity.
And we're told that student is not stopping. She tells KSAT she plans to pursue a career in aviation.
Of course, and great job, and we know she's going to go far.
One day we'll get on a jet and hear her talking to us from the flight deck.
Oh, it's very exciting. A junior in high school. Wow.
Congratulations and good luck in the future. 545, 45 degrees.
And chances are you or someone you know has diabetes. The problem is more people are losing their limbs because of complications from that disease. However, it doesn't have to be that way. Coming up, how doctors are working to try to reverse that problem.
A lot of folks were off yesterday for the long weekend, and we're going to see more cars on the road today. The other thing we might see is a hint of fog out there, and we're seeing that in some of the streetlights on TransGuide. More than 13%, or 280,000 people here in Bexar County have diabetes, and doctors are noticing something. More people with the illness are getting amputations.
So they spoke with KSAT about things people with diabetes or pre-diabetes can do to keep their limbs. Of course, diet and exercise are key, but there are more things you can do. So tonight, our Stefania Jimenez will tell you all about those in a program that's helping men with diabetes in Bexar County to stay healthy.
And it uses car analogies to explain diabetes care and maintenance.
You're going to learn more about the Diabetes Garage and how you can get involved. It's tonight on The Night Beat.
Just about 10 till 6 on your Tuesday morning.
Let's go ahead And check back with RJ. The roads look good from this angle.
Yeah, guys, things looking good so far. Traffic starting to pick up as we make our way through our 5 o'clock hour. And take a look, quick look here, 37 at South End Road right there, TransGuide traffic cameras. See traffic moving pretty good there, 37 Fair Avenue, same situation there as well. Let's check out some inbound and outbound traffic times. The one thing I noticed, New Braunfels is a little bit higher than normal because probably of all that construction we're seeing the northeast side. Now, good thing is that they have mostly cleared that out. But again, a lot of overnight construction taking place in that area. Lavernia being the one spot that we're seeing a little bit of delays when it comes to all of our traffic coming into town. Outbound, we're seeing kind of our normal trouble spots. Castroville is going to take you a little bit more than half an hour, and Lavernia 27 minutes, but not too bad across the city of San Antonio. Speaking of not too bad, this is good news here because last week we saw that gas prices were getting close to that dreaded $3 mark, but just checked AAA right now, and we're looking at $2.88 right now across the city of San Antonio, Bexar County area. That's an 8-cent difference from just a week ago. So again, last week we were getting up to about $3 there. The average gas price here across the rest of the state is about $2.90. So good to see that we're a little bit under the average gas price across the state. And of course, across the U.S., we're still at around $3.28 when it comes to the rest of the country. But guys, things looking pretty good out there. And again, things starting to pick up here a little bit more as we get closer to our 6 o'clock hour.
Yeah, one camera shows quite a bit of fog hanging around those streets.
Yeah, absolutely. That too. Yeah, keep that one in mind if you're headed out.
Fuzz, and then it's going to start to kind of invade as the morning rolls on. So, all right, we've been showing some bluebonnet pictures, but keeping up with them. Not a bluebonnet, equally as beautiful. First Indian paintbrush this spring, and again, hoping that the rain that we had earlier a few weeks back is going to help out with the the crop of bluebonnets and Indian paintbrush. But those are such beautiful flowers. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect shot. Okay, speaking of that kind of fuzz, you can see how some of the skyline is obscured just a little bit thanks to the humidity that has moved in overnight. Pleasanton is now down to just a quarter-mile visibility. Still the same around the metropolitan area. Not bad, but again, it's not going to take much for all of a sudden that visibility to drop down. It has dropped a little bit there at Bernie, and Gonzales has actually come up to a quarter mile. It was at 0, but look at that. Victoria, Pleasanton, some going down 35 as well. So most of it is to the east. And again, we watch out for this over the course of the next couple of hours. Temperatures are going to be steady, fluctuating a couple of degrees this morning. Nice big warm up again today. We are going to make it up to 70 at noon. We will gain about 30, almost 35 degrees across the board. But as the temperature comes up, the humidity is going to be kind of neck and neck with that. So you'll definitely notice more humidity later on this afternoon, high up to 76, almost 10 above where we were yesterday. So humidity continues to come on in here. Morning fog again tomorrow as well as Thursday morning. Then we get the humidity to drop off, so it's going to be more comfortable as we go into Thursday afternoon, Friday, and Saturday. But this is a little bit deceiving because we have a front moving through. It's not going to be a cold front, a Pacific front, and actually we're going to get warmer in behind that on Thursday. We're looking at mid-80s on Thursday, a good 15 degrees or more above normal. All right, you look at around the country, coldest air is up here to the northeast, and then we've got some warmer temperatures. Look at Bismarck 16, 37 there in Cutbank, and you've got this big ridge which is building. Here's the really cold air. That's kind of the dividing line, and that ridge is going to continue to help to heat things up as we go into today, tomorrow, as well as Thursday. Then we again, that little bit of a front moving on through here, somewhat of a southwesterly wind at the surface, and that's the downsloping wind, really warms us up. Again, mid-80s. Then we'll drop somewhat as we go into Friday and Saturday. Not cold, just not as hot. However, that's not going to last very long. Another ridge builds in here. Then we're going to start to see that next low, which is not going to do us any good as far as any rain chances, unfortunately, but that is going to pull another front through here on Wednesday. And so that's going to actually cool us down for then the latter half of next week. But the one thing you don't see on this graphic, any rain around here, unfortunately. Not with this front, not with the front that comes through next week. 84, very hot on Thursday, but a little more comfortable. And then a nice looking weekend. Humidity, though, comes back in to start off next week. More after this.
Good Good morning. Coming up, the story we're all following this morning. Two of the biggest credit card companies are joining forces. What it could mean for what's in your wallet. Rebecca Jarvis is here to explain. Also this morning, the first of its kind IVF ruling in Alabama and what it could mean for women seeking access to fertility treatments. And the good news for women when it comes to exercise. That's coming up right here on GMA.
And ahead in our next hour of GMSA, today's the first day you can vote in the March primary for races across Texas. What you need to know before you head to the polls. And up next, San Antonio fire crews spent this morning trying to put out a house fire as it spread to another home. What we learned from the scene in just a few moments. And checking TransGuide, a little bit of fog showing up in some of those cameras, especially in those outlying areas. There's 37 at Fair Avenue. We'll be right back.